Tonight, mistrust and gridlock in Iraq. The president sends his report to Congress and admits the political progress has been disappointing. We'll have a report, plus an interview with America's top general over there. Plus, a leading home builder slashing prices and hoping that the housing bust is about to bottom out. We'll name names and locations. And the newest tool in coping with disasters, an advanced eye in the sky. And we'll tell you why Microsoft is smiling about this new development.
From Bloomberg World Headquarters in New York City, this is Evening Edition on Bloomberg.
Welcome back. Treasury Secretary Henry Paulson is in Chicago today. He's announcing plans on community developments for low-income housing, and we're going to that ceremony now where he will be talking about awards for community housing, and he perhaps will speak about other economic issues. Here is Treasury Secretary Paulson.
I might also add that NHS Chicago is certified by the Treasury Department as a CDFI member. So again, very appropriate for me to be here today. Now, as Bruce mentioned, before Labor Day, the president announced an initiative to help homeowners who are facing delinquencies and foreclosures. There are a number of parts to this. We're pressing very hard for FHA modernization and really hoping that Congress acts quickly there and we can get that bill passed and get new mortgage products, lending tools are very important. There's also a proposal by the president for temporary relief for those homeowners who are facing tax liabilities for cancellation of debt if the debt is on a primary mortgage. Both very important initiatives. And then, as Bruce mentioned, the president has asked Alphonso Jackson, who's Secretary of HUD, and me to reach out, work with mortgage participants, as many market participants as possible, to look for ways to bring help to homeowners. We've been meeting. I met earlier this week at Treasury with a number of counseling organizations providing financial advice. Ken Wade was there for that meeting. We're meeting with servicers. We're meeting with those who are developing loan products, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. And the key, as Bruce said, is to identify as early as possible those homeowners that may be facing problems. And if you can't identify them and they don't work with those who can help them, it's going to be very difficult to have success. But to identify those, to get them the credit counseling they need, and then obviously work to expand the mortgage financing products. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to collect the dots. And again, it was very interesting for me today. On my right, Mrs. Regina Garrett, and we talked a little bit today because she's an example of success. That she had bought a house in 2002. She had a mortgage on that house. She was laid off for a month or two. She immediately got to NHS, and she was working with, where's Sherry? Yeah, so anyway, she was working a credit counselor with Sherry, but she came in. She obviously got her job back, but she was went through the credit counseling process, and then NHS was able to put her in a new mortgage product. Her original mortgage had a 12% rate, and she's in a 6% rate now, a 6% rate. So she stayed in her home. And there are many success stories like this, but if we've got any message, and if I've got any message to the public, you need to come in and at the first signs of a problem, begin to work on this. So again, we've got our work cut out for us here, but I want to take a step back and make a point. And as I travel around the world, and I've traveled around the world for a number of years, other countries look at the U.S. as a model for home ownership. This is it's not only the American dream, it's a dream of many people around the world, and we just do a better job of realizing this. And home ownership in America has gone way up as a result of innovative financing techniques and programs. And there are millions of Americans that are in their homes right now as a result of this credit who are not going to be facing problems. And let's not forget that. Let's not forget how important it is not to overreact. We need to recognize the success we've had, but we need to come up with ways of dealing with the issues. We're thinking through policy issues, policy implications of what we're going through right now, because we're obviously going to need to make some adjustments in some of the policies to try to avoid some of these problems. But we're also working to deal with them right here and now. In summary, let me again say that Treasury's goal with CDFI is to help make credit available, financial services available, help make it available to as many Americans as possible. That's the goal of CDFI, and I know that groups like NHS in Chicago are doing everything they can to make that goal more attainable, more realizable right here in Chicago. So again, very pleased to be here. I really appreciate all you all are doing. It's making a big difference. Appreciate the leadership, Bruce's leadership, and Ken's leadership, and all the great work. So thank you.
Treasury Secretary Henry Paulson speaking in Chicago, talking about the housing situation and telling Americans that if they are in trouble with their mortgages, to act early and try to get out of those issues by contacting the appropriate federal agencies. Now, you're watching Open Exchange.